Well, hello, you guys. I hope everyone had a really nice Christmas with your family, or if you were alone, I hope you had a nice evening, even if you were alone, like me. But I wasn't exactly alone. I had, my Christmas thingamajig here, and I talked to some people. Somebody new from the group, from the YouTube channel here, that invited me to meet him out in the park and over in Mission Bay, and brought me a ton of avocados, which are really, really freaking good. And I mean really, really good. Anyways, thank you. You know who you are. Um, I still have some, by the way, and they are really, really good. So, and also, I was supposed to see a friend of mine in Los Angeles, but since it was raining and everything, I said I'm not going. I was going to have to take the Amtrak, and then in downtown Los Angeles board onto a bus to go to North Hollywood. And I haven't seen her in a long time, but it's a very good lady friend of mine. And I also talked to some tenant here, one of the very, very few that has some, clear, non-druggy mentality. Really nice person. Talked to him several times. So I wasn't exactly alone, but during Christmas Eve, yeah, I sat here, and I did have anyhow. So I haven't done a videos. I've been a little, I don't know, a little bit woozy, and I'm gonna mention something right now, and I don't know, what people's faith is, but I'm gonna, lay it out. And so I've been having like this wooziness, in my head, and I truly believe it's because of that Lexapro. So anyway, so I told the psychiatrist that I wanted to come off of it, and or switch it to another one called Zoloft. And so anyway, so right now, as I was as I was praying, and I do mention that I talk to ChatGPT often, and I get a lot of input from it, and it's been so helpful to me for the tutorials of the music. And so then today I said I really want to pray, but I don't know how exactly, because sometimes, okay, so the Bible says, hallowed be thy name. So I said, what does hallow mean? So I went on ChatGPT, and so what it basically said is that hallow is like a very revered name for God, and they stopped using the name Yahweh back in the centuries ago, because they didn't want to just mention it, meaning the Jews. They didn't just want to throw the name Yahweh around like nothing, You know how people say, oh, thank God, They just throw the word God, around. And not that it's bad, but in your prayers, it's a little different. You're basically like acknowledging the Creator, And so anyhow, so I started learning a lot about that, because I wanted to pray over this wooziness that I'm just tired of. It's been a very helpful medication. Yes, it really has. I keep looking over here, and the lens is right here. The camera. And so I wanted to pray about that, because tomorrow I'm pretty sure that the psychiatrist is going to either send me a message or have one of the nurses call me and tell me what the doctor decided to do. So I did send him 2 messages. The first one I said, he actually replied, and he said that he wasn't sure if he wanted to give me an increase. I'm like, hell no. Anyways, and so I replied back and I said no. I said I'm not going to go for that. I'm not going to go for an increase. I said I really either want to come off it or slowly wean off of it, and or transition me to a new one like Zoloft. I said because of these wooziness and like dizziness and because I already told them that, you know, there's nothing wrong with my teeth. I already went to the dentist. They looked at them. There's x-rays. And they said my teeth look fine. They're very healthy. So they said, well, it could be the ear, because I still have this ear problem that comes and goes. And, but I don't have an appointment until, what, January, March, April, May 29th. You're talking like 6 months. You know, in the meantime, I'm just feeling like these, like pressure, like, you know, they just come and go throughout the day. They're not like continuously, but they come and go, you know. And I gotta sit here for 6 months, you know, to tolerate that. And in the meantime, I'm getting these crazy freaking dizziness. And then, what was it, like 3 days ago? Man, did I wake up with a massive headache and the dizzy and the wooziness. So just mix those two, man. I had to take Tylenol 500 milligrams, 2 of them in one time at one shot, and it helped a lot. And then later, like 8 hours later, I took another 500 milligrams. So then 2 days went by, and I had like another mild, like, you know, weird feeling. And so I said, you know what? I said, I took another 500 milligram, and it definitely helped. So I said, then what the hell is it, you know? So I said, it's got to be the damn Lexapro. What else can it be, you know? And here he's talking about possibly increasing it. That's pendejo. Estás loco, you know? Hell no. So then, you know, I was, and also to get help with my van, because my van, that's another reason I haven't done videos, is because the van has been, it gave me a stressful worry, because I think it was, I don't remember, like 4 or 5 days ago, when I turned it on, it didn't start. All it did was go, and then I did it again, and it started right up, right away. But the first one was, when you turn the key, the lights come on, ding, 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 and then it, like that. And I said, oh, shit. And then I turned it again immediately and without any hesitation. So I took my chances and I left to the, I parked it over in, at the trolley station, and then I got on the trolley to go where I was going to go. To get my glasses is what it was. I got some new glasses also. And I'm so excited to get them, man, because they're for editing on the computer. And they're just for that. And so, so I said, man, on the way back, I had to call AAA because I was concerned that maybe it wasn't going to, you know, to turn on. So I said, well, you better call AAA, man. You know. So anyways, a guy came, and he put the there's Sylvester in the back. Say hello to Sylvester. Say hello to Max. So I called the AAA, and the guy, you know, was there, and very nice, very nice. And so so he put the tester on his little box, and everything was fine. He said everything showed working fine. And I'm like, so what could it have been? I said, well, the guy said you possibly have a what they call an intermittent starting problem. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, your starter might be giving you early signs of going bad. Maybe, he goes, but he said, I suggest you change the starter. So that's why I haven't taken any risks in driving, because I don't want to get stuck. And also, you only get 4 calls from AAA in the year. So I already wasted one. It wasn't really a waste because I really wanted to know what the guy thought, what might have been the problem, and so it wasn't really a waste. So, anyways, and when I was gonna go buy the starter, it was raining like crazy for I don't know how many days was it. Well, you guys remember. It was really bad all the way through Christmas and all the way through Christmas Day even, and then even the following day. So it was just been, So tomorrow, it was a beautiful day today also, and I hanged out over in Pacific Beach, and I was supposed to go to the Rock Church because I've been trying to find a church, and I said, go to the Rock Church. Well, I didn't make it because I got up really late. Not really late, but I left kind of late, but also the buses don't run as often on Sundays. So there went that. So I said, well, what am I going to do now? I said, I don't want to go back home and stay stuck in this box. I said, I've been here for days already because of the rain. I said, I want to go out, see things, So I went to... So I said, I said, I hadn't even eaten breakfast, no coffee, no nothing, man. And so I took off, the service would have started at 12, and the bus would have been there at 12:30. It would have arrived at 12:46, I think it said. And then you still got to walk another 5-6 minutes to the church. I said, by then it'll be over. And, so I said, you know what? I said, you tried, your intentions were good. I said, I know. I said, I'm going to go to Pacific Beach and get me a breakfast burrito, some coffee, and then go sit out where I don't know if you've ever been out there to Pacific Beach, the boardwalk. It's a really, really nice, a long boardwalk, and there's benches and all. It's very, very nice, and they got clean bathrooms most of the time. Well, I got lucky. It was very clean. And I sat over there, watched the people a lot, and had a very nice day. It was very nice. And so then I came back home, and I said, I gotta fix this van. I said, there's about 2 trailers that I want to look at. One of them is up towards Los Angeles before you get to downtown. I forget what it's called, but it's still in Los Angeles, but not, the hub of the whole Central. And then there's another one, I forget where, over towards Riverside also. They're all under 20 feet. And I believe there's a third one that is missing the window, but you have to reinstall it. And I said, wait a minute. I said, that's okay, because I've been wanting to. I said, if I got a trailer, what I wouldn't do is put another sliding door on the opposite side of the van. Like, you got your main door, and I said, I would love to have another one, installed either on the opposite side. I don't know, it's a crazy idea. And I said, you got to fix your van. And then look, you were late to the church. I could have been there in, 15 minutes, it said on Google Maps. I could have been there in 16 minutes, man. And also, I miss going out, in the van. I just miss it, I'm going nuts in this place, And so I said, you gotta fix your van tomorrow. So anyway, so I was just praying, for some more stability with this mind of the wooziness, and if it wasn't for that, oh man, I would have stayed on the Lexapro. I really would, because it has been very, very helpful. But I also think that maybe I might come off of it because, you know, since my dog died, I guess I've been more calm, you know, and my dog, I guess he taught me a lot of things, you know, how to be just more calm, more friendly, more loving, compassionate, understanding towards people in life and myself too. And I said, well, maybe I don't need it, you know, maybe I don't need it. But then also I said, you know what? I really need to get this off of my head, this crap ooziness, because I said, what if I, you know, and I still haven't gotten my passport also. I hope it's here before end of December. And that's another reason I haven't been motivated to do a lot of things with the van. And I said, what if I said, I still like the idea, the thought of owning a piece of land down in Baja and to put a trailer, and build maybe a little room. I don't know yet. So I said, you know, I can't, how can you do projects like that if you're not even like mentally stable? Okay, when you have this lingering, you know, around your head, how, you know? So that's why I said, you know what? I said I really want to pray, and it's not like I don't pray, but tonight was just something different. So anyway, so that's why I brought the subject of of the, you know, hallowed be thy name. I said, what is that? Well, what is hallowed? So I began to learn about that also, and thanks to ChatGPT. So I guess that's my update, you guys, and I thank you for watching, and I guess I can only say with these final words that God is essential, okay? God is essential. Good night, you guys. Bye.